Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nayaswami Padma, and I'm here today to bring you a taste of noontime inspiration from the original teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. I'm reading to you just a brief excerpt out of Swami Kriyananda's autobiography, The New Path. And in this case, Dr. Lewis, his first disciple in America, is sharing this story. During those early years in Boston, there was a man who'd been condemned to death for a crime that I and many others felt he had not committed. The day before his scheduled execution, I happened to be with the Master and mentioned this case to him. Master became very pensive. Silently he retired to a corner of the room and sat there quietly. After some time, he returned to our circle with a smile and resumed conversation. He never mentioned the condemned man. The following morning, however, the news came out in the papers. At the 11th hour, the governor had issued a pardon. This is an example in this story, as there are numerous other examples in this book and in the life of Yogananda in general, where when he was presented with the situation, he would never respond sort of immediately to it, a request for a prayer, a request for something, whether it's healing or who to bring with him on a certain tour, or in this case, about this man who he didn't know and he only learned about from Dr. Lewis just moments before. But Dr. Lewis describes that Yogananda went and sat in the corner and became more pensive, more withdrawn. And I'm sure he was asking inwardly, as he did on so many other occasions, inwardly asking Divine Mother, God, what should happen in this situation? What, if anything, should he do? And then he listened for the response and felt the response inwardly to put that thought in the governor's mind and allow this particular prisoner to be reprieved. And so I think the salient point of this particular story is that a true master doesn't act independent of God's will. They get themselves in alignment, in attunement with God's will. They always will ask the question inwardly, is this right? What should I do? What do you want to see happen? What do you want me to do? It's never about his own opinions, his own thoughts, his own preferences. It's always about God's will and staying in alignment with that will. Swami Kriyananda tells the story in an earlier chapter of this book that when he first had his interview with Yogananda, got to meet him, he had waited a long time to meet him, many hours. And then Yogananda told him that he met with him because God told him to meet with him. And he went on to explain that another woman from, I forget the country right now, but I believe it was Sweden, had come from such a long way to see him and asked for an interview, and he declined because he didn't feel Divine Mother's blessing on seeing her. And so it didn't matter that she'd come a long way. I mean, it did matter, but that wasn't the question. That wasn't the issue. The issue was that it was not appropriate in attunement with the divine will for him to meet with her, whereas it was, in this case, to meet with Swami Kriyananda. And so it's not personal. It's according to our own karma and God's will for us. And a true master will never fly in the face of that. A true master will always work in harmony with God's will. Ask for God's will before acting, never reacting. Joy to you, and we'll see you again on Thursday. Blessings.